Ladies and gentlemen, my mother always said, chickens come home to roost. Ladies and gentlemen, so I brought you the story yesterday about this Washington Post reporter, Taylor Lorenz, right? Who doxed the creator of Libs of TikTok, who she never said her voice. Actually, I honestly thought it was a guy. I did. I honestly did. It seems like guy shit. I don't know. But what she would do is, I'm just going to post your videos that you put on Twitter and all these YouTube and all these other things. And I'm just going to repost it, which I thought was brilliant, very smart. Wish I had thought of it. I didn't. It is what it is. It happens. The I could be rich and retired now, people. Imagine that. Then all I have to do is make YouTube videos all day. But this is not her first time doing this, so I did a little research. I found this on Fox News. The title is Washington Post reporter Taylor Lorenz's doxing of conservative Twitter user, only her latest controversy. So let's read through it, shall we? It says, Washington Post tech reporter. Isn't tech about like computers and shit? She should be talking about the Windows 11. Windows 11 sucks. If you have Windows 10 and they ask you to download Windows 11, don't do it. Washington Post tech reporter Taylor Lorenz has made headlines for everything from falsely accusing someone of using incendiary language to labeling America a trash country, resulting in the scribe emerging as one of the media's industry's most controversial figures. If you think America is a trash country, then you go somewhere else. Not on vacation, you go to live there. You know what? That kind of actually pisses me off. As most of you know, I buried men I call brothers under that flag. I love this country. You see here on my tattoo. You see that? Can you see it? Probably not there. Hold up. Well, it's there. It's an RIP tattoo. One of my best buddies I traveled across the country with him laying under that flag. So I love that flag. So for her to say something like that is really ridiculous. Then go somewhere else. Almost said something I'm not supposed to say on YouTube. Lorenz, an outspokenly liberal reporter who left the New York Times for the Washington Post this year, found herself back in the news this week when she revealed the identity of the previously anonymous woman behind the popular Libs of TikTok account, only a few weeks after crying on MSNBC because of online harassment she had faced. Now, she just faced online harassment. The Washington Post and Taylor Lorenz revealed this woman's name and address. You're asking for trouble. So whatever happens is on Taylor Lorenz and the Washington Post. They should be sued. They should be sued out of existence. It's a trash publication. Lorenz revealed her name, occupation, religion, and where in the country she lived. The article even included a hyperlink that exposed personal information such as her work address, but the Post later removed the link after being called out by critics. Lorenz appeared at the home of one of Libs of TikTok's relatives. Try that and the Dawson family. You're going to have very bad results. With the Twitter personality sharing a photo of the masked reporter waiting at the front door. See how masks are so convenient for them? I'm not even going to go into that. I will say, as promised, I put the video up on federal judge removing the CDC mask mandates for mass transit, even though New York is still using it. But see, they use these masks for cover. That's all they're doing. It was very convenient to them. Lorenz is now being confronted with accusations of hypocrisy as her story came just weeks after she sat down with MSNBC about online harassment she has experienced, sharing violent threats she had received, and claiming she suffers from severe PTSD that led to contemplations of suicide. If online threats get to you, Miss Taylor Lorenz, then you should not be doing what you're doing. You feel like any piece of information that gets out, quote, this is a quote from Taylor Lorenz, on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life, and it's so isolating. End quote. An emotional Lorenz told MSNBC. It's horrifying. It's overwhelming. End quote. Lorenz also tweeted earlier this month that doxing, stalking, trying to hurt and smear people's loved ones, threatening them, is not okay in any situation. Even though just a month later, she did it to the founder of Libs of TikTok. She showed up at their house. She doxed them. She gave out this lady's address. Think about how crazy that is. But see, this is what, I'm not even going to say liberals, the woke do. The woke do. Until they have to meet with real consequences. Because these are the spoiled rich kids who've never had to deal with consequences. Let me continue reading. Lorenz also tweeted earlier this month that doxing, stalking, I read that, in addition to a variety of journalistic ethics snafus, she has been vague about her age. Wikipedia indicates she was born sometime in between 1978 and 1987, and she recently declared she was 43 years old, despite numerous publications suggesting she is much younger. Here are some of her most memorable moments. Lorenz scolds MSNBC. Lorenz ripped MSNBC earlier this month, said the network, quote, fucked up royally, end quote, after a segment about online harassment of women that she participated in resulted in, quote, even worse online harassment, end quote. Following the segment, Lorenz, less than thrilled with the feedback she received after claiming she suffers from, quote, severe PTSD, end quote, due to being harassed on social media. Quote, if your segment or story on online harassment leads to even further online harassment for your subjects, you fucked up royally and should learn how to cover these things properly before ever talking to them again. End quote, Lorenz tweeted. I could teach an entire class on this stuff, but the simple fact that very few people in power in newsrooms actually understand how the modern internet and online landscape works. And so they continually give ammo to bad actors, end quote, Lorenz said. She just did the exact same thing. Chickens come home to roost. The next section. Lorenz caused a stir earlier this year when she trashed the New York Times on her way out the door, saying the newspaper didn't allow her to grow her personal brand. She was quickly criticized by other Times reporters, including Maggie Haberman, resulting in her Twitter feud. Quote, Maggie, the attention economy is my entire beat. It's what I cover. You're certainly an expert at leveraging yourself. I hope you can recognize why more workers at the New York Times and elsewhere seek more ownership of their work, opportunities for career growth, and fair pay, end quote. Lorenz wrote in response to criticism from Haberman. Quote, Taylor, if you want to keep this going, we can. But if you think you and I go about journalism similarly, that surprises me, end quote. Haberman reacted. Quote, I've been doing this for 26 years, and I've worked with, and I believe everyone should have opportunities, and the industry isn't always equitable. Ask yourself if you're describing my comments here as being broadly applicable, or if they're really about one person, end quote. How long is this thing? Oh my God, this thing is forever. So, to put it mildly, people, right? What she did, you went and doxed somebody and accused them of crazy shit when all they're doing is reposting videos that the woke post. Think about how crazy that is. And then the same things you're complaining about that happens to you, you went and did to somebody else. It's that woke victim mentality, honestly. It's applicable everywhere. It's all the time. It never stops. And I think The majority of Americans are sick and tired of it. I could be wrong. Hell, I don't know everything. But I think the majority of Americans are like, yeah, no, we're done with you. So she doxed the founder of Libs of TikTok. And then she got doxed. Now she's all over the place complaining about it. You deserve what you got. It is what it is. I'm not going to be like Tim Pool. It's like, oh, it should never happen. No, you did it to somebody else. So when it happens to you, don't complain. Chickens come home to roost. What you put out there comes back. That's why I'm always very careful on what I put out there. Timmy complains all the time because if I see lonely old people in the store and they're just kind of mumbling around, I'll stop and talk to them. Because I'm putting good energy out there in the universe. So I'm hoping good energy comes back to me. The bottom line, end of the day, that's what America was built upon. That's why we're the people we are. You will never meet an unfriendly Texan. If you meet an unfriendly Texan, chances are they weren't raised in Texas or they just have a bad understanding and it's an anomaly. It's an anomaly. This woman though, she's evil. I've long been saying the woke, they're not misguided. They don't have, they're not misguided. They're just evil. It's evilness. They do it because they can. The question is, how much longer are we going to put up with it? That's what I ask you. But go over to Rumble, Dan Dawson, DANDAWSON. Look up my show. My CDC mask mandates being overturned by a federal judge are up there. I couldn't do it on YouTube. And if you go look at it, you'll see exactly why I couldn't do it on YouTube. So, like, subscribe, share. As always, especially in these days and times, keep your powder dry. Don't dox people. And do what you got to do.